Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Musings of an Earthbound Alien. I'm your host, Bill, and what you see on the screen right now is a list of various reality TV shows that have been going on since, well, in the last 20 years or so. And this is a global list. Now, on that list, you're going to see documentary styles, docu-soap starring celebrities, structured reality, historical recreations, date-in, makeover, lifestyle changes, video camera, hidden cameras, reality game shows, so-called reality game shows anyways, talent searches, and hoax TVs. And guess what? They're all bullshit. This is the state of television today, and this is what we're going to be talking about on Musings of an Earthbound Alien, not a reality show. Be right back. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. And yeah, reality TV. That list, that list is long. I mean, it's really long. But when you get down to it, hey, it's what people are going to watch, right? You can't blame them if they're entertained in some way. That's great. But I always ask the question, why is reality TV so popular? Why are people so hung up on this so-called genre? For one thing, reality TV is not reality. It is the furthest thing from reality that you can get. So why the interest in it? I mean, there's four popular theories that suggest, for example, that people like to watch others that are more successful, that they like to live that so-called luxurious lifestyle where they're on camera all the time. They want to see how other people live. Hogwash. I don't buy it. In the back of your head, in the back of their minds, it may be the reason, oh, I want to see that. Others believe that, there's the secret to the success is as simple and as harmless, supposedly, as the desire to seem part of the crowd. Rubbish. Again, I don't doubt that there are some people that wish they were there in some way, shape, or form, that somehow wish that they were able to take part in these shenanigans. And I'm talking worldwide, because that list we saw earlier is literally a global list for the last decade or so of shows that, and if you don't believe me, you can search the interweb. Like all things real, it has to be on the internet, so it must be real. There's another theory that suggests the shows are outlets for people to be envious and feel that if they could have, what if they were those people, putting themselves in their shoes. It makes people wonder, what if? My response would be, what the frack? Really? You're that envious of these moronic idiots on TV? Get rid of the wealth and power and whatever that they seem to have, the so-called influence that they have. I'm not buying that that's what you really want to see in your life, because it comes with a lot of pitfalls that you don't see behind the scenes, and we'll get to the behind the scenes in a few minutes. Another says, in part, that these shows peddle blatant voyeurism with shameless exhibitionists and contestants. Yeah, that's definitely getting closer to the mark. There is a certain voyeurism that we have on this planet. and it doesn't matter what country. There's a certain amount of exhibitionists, voyeurists, and one can't do without the other. And unfortunately, that voyeurism tends to take some very dark, seeded, forms, really. That people watch these shows because, well, they want to avoid thinking for themselves. It's a subtle and insidious creep-in of the removal of one's own identity. I mean, that's part of what I believe. That it does. These shows dumb it down for the average viewer. They don't have to think to use their imagination, as where an old program from even a movie or whatever from the 30s or 40s. The old Dragnet series, for example, from the 30s and 40s. The radio show leading right up to the television show in the 50s and 60s and going into the early 70s. Jack Webb created a wonderful masterpiece of entertainment that lasted it lasted years. And you had to use a certain amount of imagination. I mean, if you watch the show now, yes, clearly it's not as mysterious as one might think, but given the context of the time, that was actually a pretty remarkable program. It wasn't dumbed down for the viewer. The terminology used wasn't dumbed down. And granted, that was a fictional program based on real events provided to Jack Webb by the police department of the city of Los Angeles. I also believe strongly that, yes, voyeurism gives people this fake window into a made-up world and with made-up lives that don't exist. In other words, it is voyeurism, but it's sad because it's voyeurism that says, by the way, I'm going to show you this made-up world with made-up people that doesn't exist in reality, but we're going to make it look and sound real. We're going to do camera things and cuts and pans and zooms and dramatic pauses and dramatic scripts and whatever. And it's going to seem real to you, the viewer, but unfortunately, it ain't. The evidence supporting my belief exists around you. Yes, it's mostly anecdotal, and there have been some actual researchers through various universities that have gone out, and this has been on the psychological side of it, to see why are these programs so pervasive. I mean, let's face it. I always thought, and I still contend from a psychological point of view, a psychosocial point of view, that human beings have three basic identities. The three basic identities is this. Without getting into specific individuals, it is the persona, the identity that you present to your family. Those people that are around you, those people that are at home with you all the time, those people you see all the time, your mothers and fathers, sons, daughters, brothers, sisters. You have a persona that you've grown up with. You have an identity that you've grown up with. You present that identity to them. Then you have the identity, the persona that you present in your workplace. It's different. If you think really, really hard and you pay attention to the subtleties, you actually start to see that, and in some cases, by the way, it's not so subtle, but you then begin to see that you're not actually the same person when you go to work. Your identity is slightly different. you could be depressed as hell at home or whatever because, you know, you ran out of gas, you had a flat tire, you've got this, you've got that going on, bills piling up. But as soon as you get to the office, you're supposed to present this wonderful, hi, everything is so great kind of attitude. And you pull it off, and you pull it off because you actually do present a separate persona. You have a separate identity. You are, in fact, creating a different reality for yourselves, and yourselves as in the multiple people that you yourself are, that what I'm talking about right now, and your audience, which is your co-workers. And there's even a slight difference between your co-workers and your boss. If you are not the boss itself, then you are presenting that slight difference. And then there's another persona, another reality that suggests that when you are out in public, not at work, not at home, you're out with friends, at a party, at a pub, at a restaurant, you're at a concert, whatever, you present another slightly different side of yourself. You know, you go to a concert, you're up and down and dancing and screaming and carrying on that you don't even do at home. You might, but I bet a lot of you don't actually do that at home. You are also presenting a slightly different view. Even the foods you eat. You're out with friends at a restaurant and you order something off the menu, and let's say you try something different. It comes to your table, you look at it, and you're going, on the inside, but you don't want to look foolish or silly in front of your friends. You eat it. For example, I'm not a huge fan of mushrooms. As a matter of fact, ever since I was a kid and I saw mushrooms under a microscope, and I realized, yeah, that's fungus. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of fungus. But that said, if I'm in public, I'm going to, and it happens to be on the plate, better than 50% of the time, depending on what the rest of the meal is, I'm going to end up eating the fungus and suck it up, and I'm going to look like I enjoy it. But you see, all of that is acting. We are the best actors that you will ever see. Put a camera in front of your face and all of a sudden there's a fourth medium, a fourth sort of persona that comes out that is completely different than the other ones. Because even professional actors, the vast majority of them, when you look at their stories and their backstories and where they are today, and you look at how they got there, they change the part, not just based on the script, but as soon as that camera is on, as soon as that red light goes on, as soon as the director says action, guess what? You're completely different. You are creating a scene, a part, an emotion, an event. You become the story. You're not just telling a story, you become the story. Well, my point in all that, the individual in these reality shows are in fact acting. Every single one of them. Even the shows that profess to be real are actually people acting a part. In some cases there is a script. It's as phony as a $3 bill. Money is a big theory as to why these shows are popular. Media companies want to make money, and television shows make money if advertisers pay to be part of the show. The ratings, the numbers of viewers that dictate how popular a show is important to these advertisers. TV shows consistently, reality shows anyways, these so-called reality shows consistently pull viewers in more than and they have higher numbers on average. And according to Nielsen ratings, in the US, for example, Americans spend 1/3 of their free time watching television. Of that, 67% of those people are watching so-called reality shows. This brings in money by the bucket load to sponsors that want a piece of that action. A WebMD medical news study suggests that reality television episodes have increased to 57% of all television shows that can be found on your screens. And again, these are American numbers, but they can equate fairly well to every country in general broadcasting terms. Reality TV shows are also cheap to produce. Compared to a fictional program or a real documentary that requires actual research and actual work to be done, doing these so-called reality shows adds to the lure for profits. It allows the producers to make, again, a buttload of money. It allows the advertisers to make a buttload of money just by creating these shows. And this is in part not just because people are going to be silly enough to watch these things, and yes, I'm talking about you, but in part because it's so cheap to produce. Why wouldn't they? Reality TV produces some disturbing, eye-opening issues as well. According to Medical Procedures News, reality television is attributed to cosmetic surgery procedures, with more than 9.2 million procedures performed directly as a result of people watching these shows. Again, these are American numbers, and in the US, I'm sorry, this is reality and to a certain extent, but because their healthcare system is so based on money, screw health, it's actually about money down there. And whether you like it or not, if you're an American watching this, you know it's true. Don't deny it, because if you think about it, you see exactly what it is. And while there are healthcare workers, millions of them around the US and around the world, that are more interested in the actual health aspects of being a healthcare worker, the so-called reality of these procedures is that they're being done where they shouldn't be. I mean, there's the Barbie girl, and I'll put a picture of what she looks like up here. This is her bizarre mental health problem where she thinks that she wants to look like a frickin' Barbie doll. That's a mental health issue. But these idiot, money-grubbing cosmetic surgeons are doing this work. Look at Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson looked way better before all these surgeries. Look at him before he died. I'm sorry, that was disgusting. He had a mental health problem that he received zero counseling for, clearly, and had surgeons performing operations on his face and the rest of him that should never have been done. You tried pulling that in most other Western countries, ain't gonna happen. According to the same WebMD the medical news research, reality television is contributing to eating disorders in teen girls. We've seen this. This isn't anecdotal at this point. This is real. With shows like Are You Hot?, The Search for America's Sexiest People in Extreme Makeover, young people believe that to be accepted in society, you have to be, quote, hot, a bombshell. No, you don't. You have to be yourself, and you're not yourself if you think you need to be like these other people. That's ridiculous. But these shows contribute to that. Do these producers give a shit about that? Clearly not. They say in public, oh yes, we do care, we deeply care about these things. But no, they don't, because otherwise they would stop this crap. They would look specifically at the negative aspect of these programs. They don't. They pay lip service to the negative aspects off air, but on air they're still pushing this garbage. When you sexualize a toddler, for example, in that toddler modeling program that used to be on, I mean, come on. There are some serious mental health issues on the part of those friggin' parents. I don't give a damn what anyone says. And there's some serious issues with people that are watching this and thinking it's cute. No, it's not cute. It's disgusting to sexualize a bloody toddler for the sake of your viewing enjoyment. It's wrong. Now, without getting too preachy, since the explosion of reality TV, psychologists have reported that eating disorders in teenage girls, primarily between the ages of 13 to 19, have nearly tripled. Again, American numbers, because it's an American study, but in Canada and the rest of the Western world, and I don't know what it's like out in those non-Western countries, because I haven't seen any numbers for that, but I suspect it wouldn't be far from the truth if they have access to these programs, or in areas that they have access to these programs, that those numbers are pretty close to reality. Real reality. Reality TV, as I said before, it dumbs it down to the lowest viewers. And I always thought you guys were smarter than that. I mean, honestly, ask yourself and members of your family, your friends, do you watch so-called reality TV? Ask yourselves and everybody else the question, why do you watch reality TV? And you have to be honest with the answer. If you think that it's somehow based on reality, you're kidding yourselves. You're lying in the pockets of these producers and these advertisers by not even, and you haven't got a clue. If you think that this is entertainment, you're kidding yourselves. Because I go back to that that toddler beauty contest crap, where it had millions of viewers, and I'm sorry, when those shows came on the air, when you're sexualizing a child for the purposes of entertainment, and by the way, just because those shows aren't specifically on network television doesn't mean that they're not being rerun in syndication in some backwater communities. And some of these places that still hold these shows, and they still exist, that's disgusting. You cannot, in all consciousness, in all justification, turn around and say that that's right. That's so cute. No, it's not cute. It's bloody disgusting. But that's what, by continuing to watch these programs, you continue to perpetuate the lie that is so-called reality. I get it if it's a game show. Game shows are still lies. You think people actually win stuff without having a cost to it? All those people that win on those American game shows, in the US, you have to pay the taxes before you even get to claim the prize. That means whatever money you win, you're still paying for it. You didn't win shit. It's costing you a buttload of money, especially if it's not a cash prize. If you want an actual physical prize, oh, I want a boat, a car, a motorhome. Well, they're not necessarily luxuries, and that's a Gilligan's Island reference for all of you paying attention. But they're not these luxuries that you've just won until you fork out to the tax man. And I don't have a problem paying taxes, but not on a free gift, because it ain't free. But in the end, it's up to you. If you want to watch the shows or these so-called reality programs, you go right ahead. But you have options that you consider first. You have to think about these. First of all, you can get yourself a full frontal lobotomy. It's pretty much the same thing. Reality TV and lobotomies go hand in hand. You can get in the ring with the largest MMA fighter. You're basically beating your head against the wall. You might as well have somebody beat your head for you. Saves you a lot of effort. You can be treated for hemorrhoids, because I suspect that many people that are really into these programs, where that's all they talk about, have a serious case of roids. Because that's the only reason that I could come up with that's legitimate, that says this is why these people flock to these programs and can't talk about anything else. You can shop at Walmart naked, because clearly you are that either that exhibitionist or voyeurist that you might as well contribute to the genre. You can eat asparagus, because I think asparagus is disgusting in and on itself, so pretty much the same thing for me. You can eat an eggplant, which again, just like asparagus, is pretty much the same to me. And finally, you can read a book. or even a comic book would be better. The back of a cereal box would be better. They've given money to the bottom feeders and the loons that are making these so-called reality television. Just a reminder, reality television is the farthest thing from reality, and only you can prevent stupidity. Because in the end, that's what reality television is. And coming up next, in my humble opinion, stay tuned. In my humble opinion, and this is going to be a very short one. There's a reason it's a short one. It doesn't have to be long. Masks. It's a pandemic. It's real. It's not fake. It's not a conspiracy to subvert your rights, which right you're talking about, not wearing a mask. I have no fucking clue, because that is the dumbest argument I've ever heard. But irrelevant, and I agree. But we're going to talk masks. 1, put the damn thing on. 2, if you're going to wear a mask, wear it properly, please. All right, this is just going to be a quick demonstration. A couple different types of masks. You've got the disposable ones. Disposable masks are made by a whole bunch of different companies. This one is made by a company here in Ottawa. It's locally produced. It's not imported from any other country. It's made here in the city of Ottawa by Canadians. And I recommend these wholly. I'll put the link up and in the piece at the bottom, and I'll also put the logo up here. You'll see it in a second. This is how you wear them. Make sure your hands are clean. You don't hold the masks in the middle. You hold the mask on the outside, and you put them on. Oh look, you can still hear me. You can adjust it. There's a little piece at the nose you can pinch to make it fit a little bit better. And it works great. Guess what? This works. This does not. This is not how you wear a mask. This is not how you wear a mask. And this is how you wear a beard protector. This is not a mask. This is how you wear a mask. It doesn't fog up my glasses. It's below the rim of my glasses. And it fits around the ears. Put it on properly. The other type of mask that you're going to see is the cloth type masks. By the way, again, do not wash these. They are disposable, not on the ground, but in the garbage. You know, garbage. I have to say it like that because apparently some people are too stupid to understand the concept of a garbage, and they're throwing it on the ground. Like, seriously, I come across this all the time, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that's seen this. Anyway, back to reality. This is the other type. You're going to have decorative, could be come in many colors, whatever. These are washable. Again, make sure your hands are clean, and you put them on. Oh look, you can adjust them. They don't fog up my glasses. I can communicate properly. You can hear me just as well, can you not? Again, you can buy these in many stores. Everything from Canadian Tire, Staples, Business Depot, most other places will actually sell even, what's that American company? Oh yeah, Walmart, you know, tiny little firm that they are. But they all, you'll find them everywhere. Make sure you get the size for yourself. There are children's sizes. Make sure you get for a child a children's size. Do not try them on in the store, because I have also seen this. These are not to be taken out of the package, tried on. Oh dear, it doesn't fit. I'm going to put it back into the package and put it on the shelf and get the other size. Are you stupid? You must be if you do that. And yes, I have seen that happen. It was, yes, at a Walmart. There is that stereotype, but I had to point this out to the people that work there, that that mask is now contaminated. I am no longer holding back. There's no filter between here and here. I am going to say things when I see stupid ass shit like that. Okay? But the simple fact is, it works. Please, this is not about you. This is about everyone else around you. Wear the mask properly. There's a right way and a wrong way, and it's up to you to help save lives. How do we know masks work? Because there is proof on controversial evidence, or incontroversial evidence, that masks work. Without a mask, the spread of a sneeze, a cough, spittle, the stuff that comes out of your nose and your mouth goes for it flies quite a distance. Now, with a mask on, if it's just one person, you're slightly protected. Two people with a mask, you're more protected. And staying at home even gives you more protection, but I realize that is not a practical way of dealing with it. It's the reality we're in. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Wear a mask. Doesn't matter if it's a disposable cotton or material one. There are some better versions of this. You can visit the Government of Canada website, Health Canada. They have a full list of the types of masks. CBC Marketplace has a whole series, a show on masks and what works and doesn't work as far as the type of masks. The ones with the vent, don't get those. Think about it. The vent is on one side. The vent is to allow spittle and moisture to leave. Is it cluing in yet? Yes, it must be, because I'm seeing you taking off those masks because they are a dumb idea. The whole idea is to prevent moisture from your mouth and nose to exhale out to the people you're trying to protect. With that valve, it doesn't stop that. It actually allows that to happen. Bad idea. Don't ever get those. Stop it. Now, there's a whole bunch of other masks out there that you should not use. Again, visit the CBC Marketplace website. I'll put that link down in the comments. All right, that's it. That's all. That's my humble opinion. Thank you very much for watching. Comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. There's a whole bunch more great stuff coming. We have some guests that are coming up, and you'll love it. Okay, lots of stuff for the geeks. A little bit more ranting from me, I know, but hey, it's who I am. All right, cheers. Be safe out there. Bye bye now.